Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? Come on in, sit on down. Welcome to an episode of the Truth Therapy Sessions, episode 80. My, how the time flies. 80 episodes of the Truth Therapy Sessions already. I cannot believe it. They should have come sooner, really, because I did take a 5-year break before I started these things, but we're getting closer to the 100, and maybe we should do something special for the 100, eh? But today's kind of a special show, something like a special show. I've been busy. It's been a busy week. Not because I've done anything, but because I've been ill, trying to do the bare minimum just to heal and get my voice back and unblock my nostrils, you know. But things have just been happening around me, and I've kind of had to deal with it online and through text form and things like this, and I have been the brunt of many attacks online from people who have decided I am the devil for some personal reason or another, and I have been dealing with just general, you know, YouTube drama stuff and watching on the sidelines as well. It's been really odd, but at the same time I randomly get a message out of the blue, and you know, I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room. It's in the name of this, you know, in the thumbnail. But Joe Rogan has used my video on his podcast, Fight Companion, because of Eddie Bravo. And for those who don't know, about a month ago, I was on Eddie's podcast, Look Into It, and I explained everything about the little season to him. And his mind was blown. I think even at the 20-minute mark, I got him tearing up a little bit, you know, and I think the Holy Spirit was clearly moving in that whole situation there, and it was a right place, right time situation for him. Clearly, he needed to hear some things, and he got to hear them, which is wonderful. And I know, great response. A lot of people have come over to my channel from that, which is wonderful, you know, and I kind of just left it there. You know, I didn't think Eddie would get back in touch with me anytime soon, but he randomly sent me a message about 4 or 5 days ago. And this is on Instagram. That's how he gets in touch with me, apparently. You know, that's how we originally connected, through a mutual friend, Flat Bear, who makes short little videos. And he said, "Bro, I need a short video explaining the little season, something about 2 minutes long. I need it today. Like, I'm going on with Joe Rogan, and I want to share it with him." I was like, all right, okay. Like, fair enough, no pressure. And on the fly, I said, well, you know, Flat Bear has actually done great little 2-minute shorts using my voice and my work to summarize the theory. Maybe you should use his. And then he's like, no, bro, I found this video. The little season theory part 1 explains it perfectly. And it's like a 20-minute segment he found on my channel, where I was talking to Bo from the Bump podcast about maybe a year ago now, maybe about 8 months ago or so. And it was me laying out for the first time, kind of in podcast format. It was the early days of doing podcasts, talking about this, you know. And I'm laying out as clear as I can to Bo this idea, you know, that's growing right now, back in the day, you know, when it was kind of fresh. And I was saying, you know, we're working it out. We have stuff to figure out yet, but it seems like there's a lot of weight behind this. And this is basically the theory summarized quickly. So he plays that clip where I'm giving the quick summary to Joe Rogan. Live on air. I didn't realize he was going. I thought he was just meeting his buddy and was going to show it to him. I didn't realize it would be live on the Fight Companion podcast. I did not realize he would be doing it while he's on the show. I did not know any of that. So I was surprised when Wendy, the moderator, is messaging me saying, "Paul, Joe Rogan, he's playing your video right now." Like Telegram. Like, what? Okay, I was about to go to bed, but never mind. Let's see what's going on here. And I tune in at the exact moment where Eddie Bravo's like, "Have you looked at the little season?" You know, it's like trying to explain to Joe carefully and tentatively about this little season concept. Right after he talks about the Shroud of Turin, okay? And like I said, this all comes off the back of this conversation I had with Eddie on Instagram. Now, if we can just go back to that conversation on Instagram before I go into this Joe Rogan thing, Eddie was telling me in there, you know, it's like, man, you know, I was on the fence about the whole Christ thing, about the resurrection. That was a big issue for me, about rising from the dead. But then I've been watching this guy's work about the Shroud of Turin. He's like a nuclear physicist, and he's 100% proven that it's actually real. And he's like, now I'm all in for Christ, bro. Christ is king. And I was like, whoa. Like, okay, wonderful. I was like, I'm happy you've worked out your salvation, Eddie. I really am. Now get ready for the absolute shit show of persecution that's about to come your way. But as I even said to him, but I'm sure you can handle that because I've seen you've been in that world already. He's like, yeah, bro, I've been talking about flat Earth. I'm ready for a bit of pushback. It's not a problem. But isn't that amazing? He's come to Jesus. So that's the good news out of all of this. Not necessarily just because of me talking about the little season. I'm not taking credit here. That this is because of that, mainly the Shroud of Turin research that seems to have turned him. But it's nice to know that along the way, this little season community in some way has helped open somebody up to accepting Christ into their hearts, which is incredible. So that's good. So now he's going on to Joe Rogan trying to convince Joe of this, it seems, using my little clip. And I'm like, oh, okay. And, the initial reaction, I don't think Joe was biting. I don't think he's interested. But then he seemed interested in the Lucifer statue being a representation, the Statue of Liberty being a representation of Lucifer. He seemed to kind of go along with that bit, have a bit of a back and forth. But live on air, Eddie's like, man, I'm all in now with Christ. Just like he said to me on that text, like, I'm all in. Christ is king, and I'm getting suddenly a flood of messages coming in from every platform, X, Twitter, what used to be Twitter, Instagram, in my Telegram, just messages everywhere, emails from people saying, Eddie Bravo just said Christ is king, Joe Rogan's talking about all the, and I'm just getting bing, ding, no, everything's dinging all at once. And then it suddenly went quiet, and I've had some time to soak it all in. And then the next morning, a clip gets made of that exact moment. I've linked that clip in the description of this video if you want to go and watch that exact clip. It's a bit of a cut-off. If you go and watch the actual live show, it's about 1 hour 20 into the full thing, and you get more conversation that led up to that, which is quite interesting. But yeah, one of my videos has been on the Joe Rogan podcast. I guess that's a minor achievement there to add to the list. I did not expect that to happen at all. I didn't think Eddie was going to do that, but he did. So let's see how that pans out, shall we? I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea. I highly doubt Joe Rogan's going to fly me out to Texas from the UK. That's an extremely expensive return trip, But who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to explain the whole concept to Joe Rogan himself. We'll see. I'm not holding out my hopes for that, though. But there we go, guys. That's what I know. That's what happened. And I'm kind of just letting it sink in. Let's see what happens there. I'm still doing my own thing because I said I've been busy while that was going on. David Rodriguez, the heavyweight boxing champion, who's friends with Eddie Bravo, who had just been on Eddie Bravo's podcast, was suggested me by Eddie Bravo. And the next thing I know, he's messaging me saying, bro, come on my podcast in Nino's Corner and let's talk about the little season. And from what I've gathered, he too seems to be having a bit of a conversion to Christ moment in his life, and he's open to talking to more Christians and that idea. And I'm going to go on that podcast with him just after this one in less than 2 hours' time. I'm going to talk with him and do exactly what I did with Eddie and just lay out the facts as we know them. And let's see where that goes. This is another big podcast. It seems like the heavy hitters, no pun intended, because they all seem to be fighters for some reason, are getting involved now and wanting to talk about the little season. And I seem to be the one they have heard first. I guess I got there first, and now they all want to talk about it. So that's good. It's good news for the community. I'm excited. Let's see how this works. I hope I do you all proud. I don't want to let any of you down. I'm trying my best to represent here. Yeah, so that's coming up next after this show, guys. And we're doing that. And maybe that might, I don't know, one thing leads to another. This is how networking works. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I don't know these guys personally, but I'm a known name and entity in what I do and what my shtick is now in that podcasting community area. It's kind of leveled up, as Connor would say. That seems to be what's happening here. And obviously this is the flavour of the month stuff for a lot of these type of podcasts. And we'll be here today, gone tomorrow. That's how this usually works. But while we're here today, let's try and plant as many seeds as we possibly can for the little season. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here. I don't know what result that will bring necessarily. I'm interested to find out. And another thing I also want to talk about later in the podcast, stick around, it's a bit of a surprise concept, but I've been contacted by somebody else who, and here's a hint, is in the game of organizing conventions. That's all I'll say for now. More on that later when I have the appropriate emails I'm waiting for to share with you guys. But that'll be coming soon. But yeah, exciting stuff. And maybe we might be able to organize something where we can all actually get together and meet and talk and have maybe a panel discussions and Q&As live on stage and keynote speakers, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe. So bear with me on that one. Bear with me. There's nothing set in stone. But what do you guys think? Just putting the feelers out there first of all. And I'll talk more about that when I have more information, just maybe in an hour or so when the person gets back in touch with me, okay? But that's exciting as well. More of that. Very interesting. And, this is a Truth or Therapy sessions. So there's me broaching the topic with you guys about what's basically been going on in my life and with my podcast and what's going on here. I think I might need a bit of therapy. I think I might need to talk a few things out just to figure out what I'm doing. Because I think the Nephilim Death Squad podcast, say what you want about those guys, but they have this idea that they're basically, and I'm paraphrasing here to be polite, but they're too stupid to know when they should stop. And I'm wondering if that's me. Sometimes am I basically just, I am going forward here into the dark, not realizing I should have turned around a long time ago. Is that what's happening? Am I just too dumb to realize that I'm kind of getting in too deep here? But it feels like it's like a runaway freight train and I can't stop this thing anymore. And for some reason I am clinging onto it and I can't let go. Like I've been super glued to the front of it by my hand or something like that and I can't get it off. So I'm just going to go with it whether I like it or not. That's kind of what it feels like. But people are saying here if they can afford it, they'd love to meet you all in person. But yeah, guys, it could be on the table. And again, there's nothing set in stone. We need to do some market research, I suppose, is what this organizer is talking about. But they are looking to put the feelers out to see the interest, if you get what I mean. And I'll have all the appropriate tools for you guys to interact with to get that statistical information, I suppose, is what we need. Pepe saying, screw it, go deeper. Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Too late now, Paul, says Cult of Khan. Absolutely, it's too late. But the problem is, the more I tend to rise in these circles inadvertently, just because I don't know when to shut up and I'm talking to these people and they're then talking and then pointing people my direction, as I kind of inadvertently go higher in this kind of realm, it's come with it a lot of it. I'm getting like heavily like attacked in a big way, and I'm going to kind of take the whole British royal family attitude to all this, and it's kind of like never explain, never apologize. And I'm not sorry for what I'm doing. I know I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm doing everything I can, the best I can. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation that I find myself in. It's no matter what I do, it is always a sign that I'm a evil, satanic deceiver shill of some kind. If I'm kind and polite and giving friendly advice, then I'm an evil deceiver trying to pacify the truther community. If I'm rough and stern and I put my foot down, then I'm a silencer of free speech, evil shill who doesn't want to foster free discussion of ideas, or I'm scared of the real truth. If I get a certain guest on, then I'm evil for affiliating with that person. But if I don't talk to a specific person, then I am obviously avoiding the real truth and don't want that person to open their thoughts and minds. I cannot win. Ever. So basically, I'm going to say to all those trolls, screw you, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing anyway, whether you like it or not. This is just the way it goes. And, I have my moderators out there. I've got those people to back me up on this. But if you basically come into, my house, let's say my YouTube channel, and start screaming at me, I'm going to kick you out. And if you get upset about that, that's your problem, not mine. So there you go. I guess that's all I have to say about that part of it. But yeah, it's kind of more subscribers, more problems, I suppose is the phrase I want to use there. I cannot win. I cannot win with these people. And it's getting weird, because when you get to when you're talking to like big channels that have like millions of subscribers, like hundreds of thousands. There's always the weirdos that come over with every batch, and they just want to rip us down as quickly as possible. And that's just me personally. This is just the personal stuff I'm dealing with. Whatever, you guys don't care about that, and I know that's my issue. It's my burden to carry. But as a community, we've also been getting some odd little videos cropping up here and there lately, haven't we? Kind of just trying to say the truth about the little season theory, or doing some damage control on the little season, or we are not living in the little season, guys. I can't believe I have to tell you this, but we're not living in the isn't it obvious, you know? And it's kind of, they are hemorrhaging followers and subscribers and views. They are scared because they don't know what to do with what's happening right now. There's like a groundswell of people like us out there who are now saying, nah, bro, we're in the little season. It's obvious. And these big channels, this old guard, as I like to call them, have always kind of been there preaching the end times tribulation stuff, the signs of the times, the dispensations, the state that's been created. That is obviously a sign of the what's to come, and the temple being built, your rapture people, you know, the date setters types. They've been doing that for so long. They're so comfortable and ingrained. They don't know what to do with us. And we've turned up, and anybody who tries to put us down or debunk this thing very swiftly gets a rebuke. Very swift from the audience they thought they had on their side. And then they realize, like, oh, there's more people that believe this than I realized. And either they put their foot down and they double down and then start losing people very quickly, because they made themselves look more and more ignorant the more they throw false accusations at us and accuse of us all sorts of things, or they just shut up and they never touch it ever again because it's too risky to their overall persona and image that they've spent decades creating, you know. So they'd rather just not go there at all and hope this disappears. But it's not disappearing, is it? This is growing more, and our community is getting stronger. We're getting more knowledge and more understanding. We're getting better representing these things. It's getting intense, you know. And again, someone left me a comment saying you should probably change your "I want you to get together" opening anymore, since you drew battle lines like a month ago. And in a way, I guess they're right. I guess what I'm saying is I want Christian brethren to come all get together and work together on this. And even though battle lines have been drawn when it comes to eschatology and end times ideas and where we are on the timeline, that doesn't mean they're not my brothers and sisters in Christ and that they don't sincerely believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior. We have that solid foundation and a rock to build our relationships upon. Now, when it comes to ironing out where we are on the timeline, that should be minutiae details. That should be secondary. That should be trivial compared to the fact that we're actually all in this together. So I guess in a way, my opening moniker still stands in some way. But yeah, let me go in the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. But it's been an intense week in general, and I just want to give a shout out to Connor from the Cult of Con, who also seems to be having a very busy week as well in terms of leveling up. He too has been doing the rounds, just podcast after podcast after podcast. Getting himself established and in there, which is amazing to see as well. So congratulations to brother Connor out there doing his thing. And I'll say to him as well, you know, don't be so hard on yourself when it comes to dealing with the public and haters and the rest of it. And it happens, you know, it comes with the territory. But yeah, I see good things on his horizon as well. And also, Connor, I'm throwing it out there now. Would you be interested in doing a convention or being a speaker or a guest on a panel at a convention in the US somewhere? Would you? I don't know. Let me know. I seem to be. This is so honestly. This is so preliminary stuff, guys. Like, I've literally just come off a conference call with this organizer, and she's like, "This is just the beginning. Like, we need to find out if this is actually going to be able to happen." And I'm like, well, you know what? You've got me if you can make this happen. I'll put my feelers out for you. I'm going to put the feelers out for you on the next show and see what people actually think and feel. So let me know, guys, in the comments if you're interested. It could be fun, right? It could be good. It could be good for us to actually all finally meet one another in some way and have that real face-to-face fellowship that we're all kind of craving, because it's you get a bit isolated, can't it? A little bit. What have we got here? We've got the Cult of Con. Thank you, Paul. It's been a ton of fun. I know, and it sounds like you got a bit burnt out as well, Connor. You know, I know it's strike when the iron's hot type of stuff, but also remember that you are free to organize to your own schedule as well. Okay, you don't owe anybody anything. Don't rush yourself. Don't overdo it. All right. I've learned that hard lesson repeatedly over many years. I still haven't learned my lesson. Hopefully, you'll learn my lesson for me. I understand John Levi has made a video about the little season. I haven't watched it. I remember the last time he mentioned this, maybe like a year ago. He was kind of looking at all these old buildings and thinking, God, they just look so empty and hollow and imposing and unnecessary. And it's like, God, these old buildings. Then, you know, clearly whoever created these was just void of any compassion or love or creativity. You know, they were empty and hollow and vast and utilitarian and symbols and signs of authority and subjugation and these kind of ideas. I remember him saying all of that like a year ago. I don't know what he's saying now, but I assume it's echoes of the same thing. And he's really focused in on, if this was Christ's kingdom, then it was an oppressive, horrible, imposing kingdom full of vast, imposing buildings that were not necessary, but there for more control purposes and to impose their wealth over others and the haves and have-nots or something like that. Is that what he's going off? I don't know. I could have completely just straw-manned the guy. But based off the last commentary I heard, I'm going to assume it's more of the same, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the chat what he said. I haven't had a chance today, but I'll watch the video afterwards and I'll catch up with you guys and maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe, I don't know. You've all seen it. I haven't seen it, you know. I'm not a bait taker, I'm a table flipper, says Wendy. That's right. Sorry, guys. Let's not rise to it, says my wife, Keely, and she's correct. Let's not. We're the real Latter-day Saints, says Jacob. I won't call us saints, necessarily, but we're definitely on fire for the Lord. That's true. We'll always be going to the US regardless, says my wife. My hunt to move continues. Yeah, we're trying to figure out if we can move to America, but the criteria to become a permanent citizen in America means I have to get absolutely shot up with needles, which I'm not really willing to do. So we're trying to find a workaround or something I could do to get away with all of that nonsense, you know. Fingers crossed we can figure it out. Still listening. They don't pay people crazy amounts of money unless they control their mouth. I don't know what you're talking about there. I must have missed the context. I can't believe it took me this long to find the little season, says Chad. Explains it all. It is one of those all-encompassing, explain everything catch-all theories, isn't it? It's, like I said, I only still say theory. Just because you've got to be clever with how you verbalize these things to reach a wider audience. And theory, you know, kind of makes them think, oh, well, you know, they're thinking about it still. There's some ideas there, you know. But, you know, me personally, the guy who's talking about the theory, I'm all in on it. I think this is the truth, you know. But I'm also understanding that I could be wrong, and it is still just a working theory. We're still ironing out and finding new evidences to back up and support. But as far as theories go, this one is saturated in truth and evidence and weight. It's getting heavier and heavier by the week. So I think this is the truth. And, you know, scientifically speaking, that's what they do, right? They get the best theory they've got at the time and they establish that as the fact and truth. So I'm just going to do what they're doing. I'll call them hypocrites if they want to say otherwise. I love how Eddie Bravo seems to talk about the little season every podcast he goes on now. He said, I'm all in on this. Christ is king. When he was on Joe Rogan. So awesome, says Pearl. Yeah, it was awesome to hear that. It's incredible. And obviously, all credit to God and Jesus. Jesus Christ is the one who saves. And he's on it right now. Christ is doing something right now. The Holy Spirit is moving. And he's coming for his people, clearly. He's doing something. And it's incredible to see it. As what does Connor say? We're on the front lines here. We are the cutting edge of conspiracy. right on the cutting edge of it all, of the truth movement, you know. And it certainly does feel like that sometimes. It really does. But wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's obviously pull back the reins a little bit every now and then and get retrospective, which I try and do in these shows. That's what I'm trying to do here, you know. Everyone's honking away. That's right. I'd be honoured, Paul. Let's go, says Call of Con. So Connor's in for a convention, for a meetup. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Let me just check something quickly. Let me just check my email, see where we're at. I've not got anything yet, but I'm waiting on a link. Sorry. David Nino Rodriguez has just messaged me saying he needs to push it forward an hour. That's fine by me, because that means I can now actually squeeze in my 1 hour membership only show, which I usually do after the Truth or Therapy sessions. So there we go. I can actually do that now. I was going to just miss it tonight because I had these back-to-back podcasts, but that's fine for me. Perfect. So I'll be talking with him in 2 hours' time, not an hour and a half. Perfect. So there we go. Just replying to messages. But as soon as I get this email from the organizer, it's basically I'll just tell you now, whatever. Why am I waiting? Why am I holding you all there in suspense? But she's got a survey through a Google Doc. And it's just a multi-question survey about what kind of topics would you want to hear? What kind of guests would you want to see? What dates would primarily work better for you? And it's kind of, would you be interested in X, Y, and Z? Do you want questions and panel shows, or do you want this? And it's just to get a feel for how many people want this, what kind of stuff they would like to see, what dates roughly would work for most people. And that's what it is. It's just a survey. And I'm going to have the link in the description of this video and the podcast if you're listening to audio only. It's a Google Doc. It'll go straight to the organizer. Any answers you give, and they'll then know, and they'll get a good idea of what they're working with, so she can take that to her board of directors, and then they can work out the math and the timings and everything else on top of that as well, and we can make it happen. This could happen, guys. We could have a convention in the US. Right now it's in Ohio, Cincinnati. So let me know if that sounds right to you guys, but that's roughly where it's going to be at the moment. But yeah, we need maybe 5 or 6 speakers for a 2-day weekend, for a Friday, Saturday, and that would create a packed 2 days, you know, and then there'd be panels in between and things like that, depending on how many guests they can get in and how many content creators. But they were telling me they've got like a list of like 20 people they're interested in talking to. I was just the first one they approached. And I think they want to get in touch with JT as well, but I'm going to have to talk to him privately and see if I can get him on board and see what he thinks as well. But we're working on it. Okay, we're working. This is, again, this all very preliminary. It's exciting stuff. It might be fun to do something more public, you know, something more real, you know, than just talking to a camera, which can get a bit monotonous, you know. I'll have to brush up on my public speaking skills. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel seeing 2,000 people stood in front of me and then having to do what I usually do, which is just talk away for hours, you know, but it might be fun. I think it could be fun. Keep me on my toes, and I think we could enjoy it all. Absolutely. Josh says, never commented, but very grateful for you. I've been into conspiracy since I was 13 years old, and your videos on the Little Season put it all together for me. Well, Josh, thank you. Thanks for being here. And I'm glad I could help you in some small way. I appreciate it. After 25 years of this, maybe it's about to start a channel myself, says Mad Pax. Well, go for it. Start a channel. Everyone should start their own channel, eh? And if they've got something to say it. That's wonderful. What else have we got here? I would join, but locked out of my account for 6 more hours next time. Okay, Susie, I don't know why you locked out of your account. But yeah, I'm the members only is, I think it's something like $2 or something like that. I don't know. The members only chats, by the way, I think a lot of people get a bit confused. I think they think like they're missing out on like some hidden truth or something like that. Like I'm withholding information from people behind a paywall. Anyone who's actually been in a members only chat before can tell you it's just a bit of fun. You're not missing like the facts or something. I'm not holding back some unknown discovery that I haven't shared with the public yet or anything like that. They really are just an after show chat, an intimate chat with the people who've paid, you know, just answering questions, having fun, having a laugh, making jokes. I share a lot of my old music on there that I used to make back in the day and some artwork, and we have more personal conversations about just day-to-day life. It's more fun, you know, and we keep it like obviously conspiratorial, grounded in general, but it's just fun. Please don't feel like if you're not paying for the members only stuff, you're missing anything. All my content is always available to the public, the good stuff, the serious stuff, always, okay? It's just a bit of fun for those who have decided to support me, and that's all that is. Patreon has more of the behind-the-scenes videos on there, like conversations I have with people before shows or early access stuff to podcasts that haven't been released to the public yet by the big podcaster who recorded it. And when they make it public, I'll make it public to you guys. So that you get extra stuff on Patreon because people pay there a minimum of $5. But when it comes to members only, it's like $2. You get in and you get a fun little 1 hour show every Sunday where we just have a bit of fun. You know, that's all it is. So please don't feel like you're missing anything. And I will just say as well, paying for that $2 membership or being gifted a $2 membership doesn't entitle you to be a complete and total so-and-so towards me. You're still going to get banned. I don't care if you paid or not, okay? It doesn't give you permission to be a terrible human being towards me just because you paid. That's all it is. I'm going to say that as well as a caveat, because I think some people get a bit confused about what kind of rights it gives them to give me $2 a month. And get this, YouTube takes 2/3 of that, so I get like 60 cents. So yeah, don't think too much about it, all right? There we go. So, aren't Ohio dangerous or the memes? Isn't Ohio dangerous or the memes lying to me? I don't know. I don't live in America. You tell me. What's going on here? Richard Tefatilla, thanks for the donation. I appreciate that. Thanks for the super chat so far. Tracker One, I appreciate it as well. And Peter Hamlet says, Paul's writings are for meat-eating Christians. I have no idea what you just said there. But okay, Peter, if you're I think you might be about to go on a tirade or something. Fair enough. You keep that to yourself. Don't be a blank, says Miles. That's right. Yeah, he gets it. Righteous Paul, not a caveat in your space. It's your space, it's your rules. Yeah, exactly. You know, I have a short. I'm a relatively easygoing guy. You know, I'm pretty chilled. I let a lot of things slide. A lot of people like to use me and abuse me and take advantage of me, and I know that's happening half the time. But whatever, that's people, man. Whatever, I'll let it slide. I'm cool. But as soon as you start like passive aggressively accusing me of things or attacking me or make it personal towards me and my family, you're out. No excuses, nothing. You got nothing else. You know, I'm not wasting my time. It's very simple. Okay, you don't have the right to do that, to talk to me like that. It's simple. So bye. And yeah, again, it's kind of like, you know, it's my channel. I'll ban if I want to. It's a classic tale of ownership. You know? I like how many people are close to Ohio. I live in Kentucky myself, so people are close. Brilliant. There we go. Is Ohio too far away for a lot of people? I have no idea. Your country is enormous. It's ridiculous. Like you guys like don't mind driving for 10 hours to go visit your cousin. It's like, oh, it's just around the corner. It's only a 10-hour drive. To us, that's the other side of the country. You know, that's not a simple thing for us. That's like a big deal. So maybe you guys wouldn't be, you wouldn't mind. You've been audio booking it for members, says Charlie. Is it audio booking it? No, I don't know what you mean. I am recording the audiobook currently, though, for the Nephilim Look Like Clowns, as you can see behind me. I do currently have one hardback available to sign and send off to whoever wants it as well. Somebody else has claimed the other hardback I have right here. From the original donators who supported me on GoFundMe. They said, Paul, I'm not willing to wait any longer for the second installation. Can I please have this copy signed instead? I said, of course you can. I'll send it out for you tomorrow. So there we go. If you guys were one of the original donators to the GoFundMe, I've got you here right now. Yes, I'll admit it's going to take me a lot longer to write the second installment than I thought it was going to take. Having a second kid will do that to you. It's hard. It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So the deadline, I have no idea when it is, but it's going to be at least half a year to a year, somewhere around there. If you can wait longer, then those who originally gave me the support on GoFundMe will get both volumes sent to them when it's finished. If you don't want to wait, I will send you a copy now signed as well, if you don't want to wait, but that will be it. It's one or the other. Otherwise it's gonna cost me a fortune in expenses and postage and everything, So if you want the book now, if you were a £100 GoFundMe supporter and you want volume 1 sending to you, let me know and I'll sign it and send it to you. But that'll be it then. That's the deal done. If you want to wait, when I release volume 2, you'll get both. Okay, that's the deal right now, but I don't know when that's going to be finished. I'm writing it, I'm getting through the chapters. I'm writing bit at a time, but it's going to take a long time. The books are not easy to write. There are I bit off more than I can chew. I'll admit my mistake. I shouldn't have made so many promises, and I've learned a lot of lessons. But I just don't want anyone to feel like I'm trying to cheat them out of anything. Like I said, if you want this book signing and sending to you, and I can do that for you. It's not going to cost you anything if you've already donated through that GoFundMe, the £100. So there you go. Just a quick update. Someone has decided to do that. It was an offer I gave you all when I published the book about 9 months ago. The offer's still there, is what I'm saying. As a quick reminder, shall we say. What else is going on in the chat, guys? Let me just talk with you. Ohio is close to me. I'd love to attend, says Tonya. I'd go to Ohio, says Ben T. People are in, guys. That's good news. Let me just check my emails. Let me see if that's come through. So the organizer says, I hear you chatting up the live right now, and I see the comments in the chat. Wow, thank you, Paul. With God, we'll put some flesh on the bones of this dream and turn it into an epic event. So, okay, here we go. So she has sent me a link, guys. She has sent me a link to an interest level survey. I am copying that link right now. And the first thing I'm going to do is, if I can, I'm going to post it in the chat. So, in the chat right now, there's a bit of a delay. There's a 20-second delay, so you guys might have seen that before you hear me talk about it. But you can actually go and click that link, which I am going to tag and pin, and do the survey. Maybe after the show, maybe now, while you're listening, whatever you want to do. I don't mind. But yes, that will be an interest survey to let you know if you're interested in going and whatever's going on, okay? So there you go. There it is, guys. All right, go to that link. I'm also, while I'm here, I'm going to post it in the description of the video. I'm going to update that right now. So that is done. I'm going to have to quickly just get to that section to do the editing, edit title and description. And just below survey, I have now pasted the link to the survey in the description of this video as well, and it's in the chat. I will also put it in the comments section of the video after this stream as well, so you can't miss it. And if you want to come, fill out the survey. We need that data. They need the raw evidence that people are interested to get the go ahead. Do you get what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And then obviously we'll be working on guests, putting out the feelers for who's interested and see what we can put together there in some way. So fun and interesting. I'm happy to help with this as much as I can and see what I can do. I've got the platform. Let's help reach as many people as we can in this little season community and see who wants to come. Yeah, it should be good fun. So there we go. That's that. I think I've done my part, my sales part of that whole situation. Let's see where it goes from there. Let's just see. What's going on here in the chat? What have I missed? Matrix Unveiled, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Lady Liberty for You has now become a member. That's wonderful. Lots of Kentuckians. Lots of people from Kentucky here. That's wonderful. We may be a little seasoned, but we need a big bus to road trip. That's right. I'll bring my book for signing also. Yeah, well, that's another thing we can do. If you've got a copy of The Nephilim Look Like Clowns, I can sign it for you. That's something we can do. Book signings, absolutely. I can set up a little table and sell books and sign them for you. How's that? That could be fun, right? That's what people. Is that what people do at conventions? Or is that like a Comic Con thing? I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I've got to pay. I've got to get the money back. It's going to cost me to travel. So selling a few books might help. The flat earth truth is the key to people waking up. It's what led me to the truth, says Garth. That's a big part of it, absolutely. And it certainly meshes well with the little season understanding too, absolutely. Well done, Paul. Hard work pays off. Take not you younger folks, says Joseph. I'm not sure what you said there about the younger folks, but yeah, thank you. I moved from California to Tennessee, 29 hours plus straight through. Just driving straight. Yeah, you Americans love your driving. You just love it. You can't get enough of it, can you? And Peter Hamlet seems to have taken offense to me about the Paul thing. Look, I couldn't tell, Pete, if you were just about to go off and say Paul isn't really a true prophet, which what most people that bring up Paul like you did go off and start doing. I don't believe that. I don't buy it. If that's not what you were saying, then go ahead and talk about Paul as much as you want. That's wonderful. But I believe he was true. I think he's real. I don't think he's the false prophet in any way or anything, any of the sorts. I think if it was good enough for Peter, it was good enough for me. It's clear as that. I could fly, but my truck needs a road trip. That's true. Yeah. Well, yeah. Why don't you all carpool? You can pick people up along the way and get some real party buses going along the way. That could be fun. In fact, that would be great. We should hire an actual party bus, right? For this, everyone can get photos with it. That'll be hilarious. And obviously Connor could be the one who's they get a picture with. He can drive it in. How's that sound? See, you can imagine it already, can't you? It's all coming together quite nice. Keely, will you sign my copy? Says Wendy. Yeah, my wife will sign a few as well, eh? Those who say Paul is a false apostle are heretics. Well, I'm not going to throw around the heretic word, but it does seem like a lot of people are on that tirade recently, and they've been coming out the woodworks attacking me as well for some reason. But no, I'm not buying it. No way. Dude hasn't even signed my copy, says my wife. You didn't even buy a copy. Well, I don't know. Maybe one day. This is a bit of fun for you guys. Let me just quickly. Look what I've got here. This is a not for resale, original first print version of the book. Okay, and this is full of typos. And the first people might notice it says volume 1 with the number, but the final version doesn't have the number. It's volume I, as in Roman numeral 1. Things change, you know. There's a lot of spelling mistakes, printing errors, format errors, all sorts of mistakes in here, which got rectified in the final copy. And maybe one day I'll sell this not for resale version, original print for something, or maybe I'll keep it as a memento forever. Who knows? But it's a bit of something cool for you guys. Maybe that could make an appearance at the actual convention. Who knows? I don't know. I will bicycle from Southwest Florida. My legs will be huge. Guys, do whatever you need to do to get there. But yeah, absolutely. I shouldn't have to, says my wife. No, I'll tell you what, Mother's Day is coming up. I'll gift you a copy of my book. Will that do? Is that going to be enough? Yes, Wendy, going to have my own stand. Absolutely. The World's Fair in Cincinnati, 2026, July. I don't know about the World Fair. That's nothing to do. I don't know. I think right now the preliminary dates are either mid-November this year or March next year. I think that's what they're working with right now. So you guys, does that work for you guys? I don't know. Yeah, fill out the survey. Let us know what works and what doesn't work for all of you. Rod Ross says, congratulations, Paul. The truth will prevail and God will continue to guide you and the gang to bring it to the forefront. I hope so. Paul, she did buy a copy. Okay. I live right by that church. So excited until sort of okay, someone's talking about something personal there. Never mind. You wouldn't have written a book without me. That's true. You know, without the loving support of my wife, that book never would have happened. That's absolutely true. I knew we made that playlist for a good reason. We might need to add more songs, though, since it's going to be a very long drive. So the people are already talking about getting on the party bus and driving on down to Cincinnati. Look at that. Demons hate it when I read Paul's apostolic writings out loud. That's good enough validation for me. Absolutely. I can't wait another year. That'll kill me, says Many Fires. This is the best community, 100%. How close to the camp of saints can we have the meat? Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like a yo-yo, keep getting sucked back into old religious beliefs and coming back to the little season theory, says Sharon. Don't worry, Sharon. Look, what we are a community of Christians, all at different places in our walk with Christ. Okay, the little season idea theory is an all-encompassing one that can help make sense of a lot of things that you may have been struggling with while going through your Christian walk. Okay. We don't judge you here based on how much you believe the theory, shall we say, because we're all trying to figure this out together, and we all don't know it all. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, it took me about 4 years to come to terms with this stuff, battling back and forth, and it's hard when you've always believed one thing to start to contemplate that it could have been another way. It is, and I empathize. So don't worry. Just pop back in every now and then, catch up with us, see what you think and feel. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to figure out your own thoughts on this type of thing. That's just my advice for you there. So don't worry too much. I think we all kind of went through the yo-yo stuff as well. We all get it, I believe Paul met Jesus just like I did, just like you did. Anyone who seeks him will find the truth in Jesus Christ, says Garth. That's right. Absolutely. Filled out and submitted, says Pam. We've got one down. We've got one in. Pam's in. She's all for it. Been raining all day in Cincy. So Ruby already lives there. There we go. What have I missed? The Hebrew roots narrative pushing the anti-Jesus pro-Yeshua nonsense. Yeah, there's a lot of those coming out of the woodworks there recently. A lot of Judaizers, as we call them. That it's kind of like, follow Jesus and everything, but you also have to do all these extra things as well for your salvation. It's kind of like, become a Christian, but you got to be a Jew as well, though. It's not enough. Christ's work was never enough for these people. They're not Christians at all in the slightest. They called them Judaizers back in the day, and they still exist today. And I want nothing to do with them. No way. It's a membership badge, says... Yeah, that's right, Kung. How much is his book, says Ruby Little. What, this? The Nephilim Clown book? You can get it on Amazon for $30 paperback. And I think it's like $40 hardcover or something. And I get a third of that. After printing costs. So not even a third, actually. So that's why the price is probably higher than a normal bookshop book. But that's just how it works when you're self-publishing. Unfortunately, it costs a bit more. If you want to buy through me directly, it's £50 for a signed copy plus postage from the UK to wherever you are. For a paperback, it's £60 signed by me, and then postage is included to ship anywhere in the world. But postage for America isn't cheap as well, so I end up earning roughly a bit more, if not the same as what I would do if you bought it through Amazon, but rather you just get it through me instead, which is why there's an increased cost. But if you do it through me, I'll sign it for you. So that's the bonus of doing it through me. And I only make a little bit more than if you did it through Amazon. So that's how it works. And you can get an audio, so you can get a digital version for $10. So you can just get the that's another option as well. And I'm going to work on the audiobook coming out hopefully in the next month or two. I'm getting my voice back now so I can keep reading. I've read the first 5 chapters already. So I can get through all 20 of those chapters hopefully in a month's time and get that set up, formatted and out. And that'll probably go for about the same price as the paperback, maybe a bit cheaper, maybe $25, $20 or something like that. So that'll be coming soon enough. And so there's your options. What's my wife waiting for? What have I done? What's going on? Keely had your kids. She gets the big discount. She sure does. Yeah, I'll give her many copies. I'm sure she'd love to have a pile of copies of my book next to her side of the bed. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want to look at this going to sleep every single night, you know? If you guys don't know, my loving wife was in my first advert I created for this, where she's like, what the hell is this? And I explained to her how it's a book about modern demons, and her response was, stay away from my children. And I think she played the role perfectly, and I'm very happy with it. So there we go. Have you seen the War Within's theory that we are the fallen angels, says Franz? That's actually not a new theory, the whole we are the fallen angels thing. What's his name? Is it Jonathan Kleck? I think he's been pushing that for ages. I'm not buying it personally. It's also very Mormon-esque, I believe, as well. No, I don't think so. Not to test nations, the nations are being deceived. We the people are the resurrected dead being tested, says the humble human. Maybe. We don't know that we're the resurrected dead. It was a theory even I talked about as possible when I first talked about this, and it's still possible, but we don't know that. So should we be going around saying 100% that that is the situation we're actually in? I don't know. And that's where our enemies can perhaps have ammunition against us in the future when that unequivocally gets proven wrong. Because we can't unequivocally prove it as facts. You know what I mean? So it's shaky waters. It's like with the whole hagiography thing. Like, I want that to be true so much, and some of those accounts were wonderful, and corroborated exactly what we were saying. But it sounds a bit too good to be true, and a lot of it did turn out to be falsified by AI itself. But then we got glimpses of the truth from it, which we've been finding evidences of stories of saints throughout the medieval period, which are incredible, and the miracles they were performing. And we've been going through a lot of them on our Telegram since that original podcast, and the ones that we can certify and find and get sources for, like some of those stories are just ridiculous. Like, they sound outrageous. Some of them sound incredible. Some of them sound silly. Okay, so there's a lot of parsing out and understanding the motivation behind creating some of these stories, who wrote it and why. Because a lot of the stories of the saints were written way after the saints' existence as like a comic book fan fiction about their favorite superhero saint, you know, and a lot of embellishments were added in as well. So this is why I'm saying, although the hagiography thing is an interesting jumping off pad to go into further research, we should never hinge our entire theory on that, ever. It's not got enough legs yet to do that in any way. And it's same for the rest of the dead thing. It hasn't got enough legs to stand on yet fully for us to carry the entire weight of the little season theory upon. It's not a good solid foundation. Now, the words of Jesus Christ himself making it very clear he was coming back in his generation to those people around him, their generation, that's a solid foundation to work from. And let's just stick to the scripture, basically, is what I'm trying to say here, as our basis. Everything else is speculation. Make it clear that you're speculating, lest our enemies use it against us. Because they will. They'll latch onto anything they possibly can. We're basically saying all of human history is a lie. We're going to have people with problems with that. They're going to come for us, okay? A lot of people have hinged their entire careers and reputations on the false narrative being true. You're a problem to them. Remember that. They'll look for anything they can to bring us down. Don't give it to them. Mike is going on about rings. I'm certain they scrubbed many stories from the internet, says Cults of Con. I think so. I think a lot of damage control kicked off from there as well, which means they're watching us. And they're working on it, you know, trying to cover themselves as quickly as they possibly can. But the cat's out of the bag now. They got no chance. They got no chance of hiding this anymore. I'm willing to be wrong. No one can really know 100%, says Scoundrel. Yeah, that's what he always says. Exactly. That's what I always say as well. And you know what? Someone accused me of being evil and obviously a shill who's dangerous for the community for simply saying that as well. It's kind of like, oh, he always says, he always acts humble. And he's always like, oh, well, I'm not 100% certain, therefore, it's okay. And he's saying, that's a man without conviction. That's weakness. It's kind of, okay, so I cannot win, is what you're telling me. I just can't win, can I? Oh, no matter what I do, I'm the devil. Oh, great. You try and have some tempered reason, and they call you a weak fascist trying to make other people weak. So, oh, please help me. Like, what can I do? 13.4 billion years of history, and that's already false. That they're willing to throw out as Christians. Yeah. Well, that's mean as Christians, we already deny the evolutionary theory. So what's wrong with chucking out the rest of human history, which is completely written by the winners and bunk as well, You should do it in the summer so at least you can get some US sunshine, says Shannon. Shannon, do I look like I want sunshine? Do I look like I get a tan to you? I don't like the heat or sunshine. I like to be cold and put layers on to get warm. I don't like to be so hot that no matter what I do, I'm still too hot. I hate it. Okay. So no, let's do this in the winter. Like, put my foot down on this one. No way am I doing it in summer. Is JT here? Amazing that Eddie told Rogan, says Jay. It is, isn't it, Jay? Completely out of the blue. I thought he was just going to privately tell him. He didn't explain to me when I gave him a clip that he was going to go take it straight to the show and put it in front of thousands of people. I had no idea that was going to happen, but pretty cool. I'm enjoying that. And JT, I don't know if you've been listening. I don't know if you've heard any of this yet, but the individual who reached out to both of us about a possible convention, the rough putting it out there in the ether email, I actually had a talk with them today, not that long ago, over Zoom, and I suggest you do the same. They've got a good plan. It seems like they have a good head on them. They've got a team. It seems legit. And we're working on possibly getting a convention together. Maybe. I can't stress that enough, guys. This is framework stuff right now. Nothing is on the books, okay? But possibly we could do a Little Season convention in Ohio, Cincinnati. Maybe. And it could work out with timings that I could be in the States at the right amount of time to be available to do that. So let's, I suggest you get, would you be interested in that, JT? You don't have to publicly announce it now on any chat or anything, but message me privately and maybe we can figure this out. Or at least I suggest you have your own conference call with them. They're very open, very easy to get in touch with, and just have a talk and see what you think. My hubby just said, "Amen, brother." Oh, that was brilliant. Pearl's already telling JT. There we go. She's already in the chat. People are the great work, man. All I want is to figure this all out as much as the rest, says Jeff. That's there. I got there in the end. That's right, Jeff. Yeah, thank you. You have a nice glow, Paul says. The glow comes from studio lighting. Look at that. It's not actually real. I'm lying to you all. See, I've got the orange hue this side, and this is the white light on this side. And when you put the two together, it creates this natural look to it. This is the whole thing. So the glow's a lie. I'm as pale as it comes, and I go lobster pink when I burn. I'd rather not. Let's put it that way. I'll cut the brakes on the bus. Wild card. There are no stops, says Pepe. Yeah, let's keep this guy off the bus. He can walk. Both times God called Israel back to being a nation and his people, they immediately built the temple. This made me realize the nation we know them today are not called by God, says No Limits. Absolutely. That's a tough one for a lot of people to swallow as well, isn't it? All right, what's going on here? What convention, says JT? Okay, I'll forward you some emails. The person who's actually in the chat right now, who's organising this, she is here listening, I believe. I would ask her if she's listening, email JT again now, arrange a talk, give him your elevator pitch, see what he thinks. So there we go. He may miss the original email. It's easy for emails to get buried for us. I understand how hard that it may have happened, but there we go. I'm miserable in the heat, says my wife. I am absolutely miserable, as she knows more than anybody. I hate the heat. Cannot stand it. Not interested. It's not God's best invention, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, it is what it is. You got the lighting looking great, Paul. It's a good trick. Yeah, is it? I don't know. I'm winging it. I'm absolutely winging it. When I went to Cincinnati, I got so badly sunburnt, I went purple. Oh, well, I'm glad we may be going in the winter, hopefully, instead. Or maybe early spring. I suppose if Pepe cuts the brakes, we will certainly arrive at the destination kingdom nice and early. That's true. That's true. Have you ever seen the real Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia? I've not, Faye. No, send me an email with a picture if you want. understandingconspiracy@gmail.com, and I will check that out. It's probably the CIA organizing this. After talking with them, I really don't think it is. I honestly do not think this is the CIA. I understand we should be wary. There's a lot of hyper paranoia going on here and there, but conspiracy theorist groups are organizing these things all the time. It can happen. It's not impossible, all right? And if the CIA is organizing all this, well, I'm sure they'll have a great time too and maybe learn a thing or two, whatever. It's the, who needs a physician? It's the sick. So, not a problem. That's fine. We'll bring the good news to them as well. Everyone convinced Paul to move to Virginia. My wife really wants to live in Virginia. She worked there for a short period of time and has been longing to go back ever since. And you know what? I think I could live in Virginia. It seems quite nice. It seems like a fake England some way. Yeah, like all the architecture there is modelled after Britain in some way. So it might be quite fun. But again, it's the requirements that are the problem. It's the necessities that they would put upon me, my wife, and my children to be a permanent resident, which I'm not willing to allow them to do in terms of needles, you know. Paul glows in the dark, says Trish. Yeah, I'm that white, I glow in the dark, you're right. It's probably the CIA. I agree with the cooler weather with layers, says Ruby. Absolutely. She gets it. Ruby gets it. The Earthen Vessel says, fall in Ohio will be much better than winter. As someone who is a native Ohioan, winters are not very pleasant. Well, yeah, you know, that's winter, right? It is what it is. But we'll be indoors, so it's cool. You guys would love Virginia Beach. It has beautiful beaches and palm trees and lots of yummy food, and it's not too hot. Like it is here in Florida. Yeah, Florida gets ridiculously hot. I know. MK Ryan's finally turned up too late. Howdy, friends and feds. That's right. I want to move out of VA. So there we go. Joe wants to get out of that place. Fair enough. According to the climate cabal, VA's already supposed to be underwater. Are you underwater? Says Lady Liberty. Virginia's nice. Ohio is a beautiful state. Brother Paul, we should have gotten you here before Trump took his place. Well, who knows? Maybe Trump will drop all that kind of stuff. Probably not, though. Non-immigrant visa is the ticket. So my wife is figuring it out. she's looking at all possible avenues and ways of doing this. What's this? I need some mountains, says JT. Yeah, I get that. I do like a walk in nature myself. I'm lucky I've got the Lake District here in the UK, not too far away from me, and that's a beautiful place. The Blue Ridge Mountains are so gorgeous. They don't still require the blank, do they, says Virtual. They do. They require all of it. Everything. Except for that one. They have dropped that one recently. But it's the rest of them. I don't want to... I don't want my children to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it, is it? It's not. And just to move it to a different country, I don't know. It sounds like a problem for me. If I can find a workaround, I'll do it. But right now, that's a huge issue. Weird how I mentioned on somebody else's channel today that you should get together with some of you guys in comparison notes, says Daniel. Yeah, well, we're working on it. You know, I think more of like a panel Q&A might be quite good, because people have questions, and if we're all there to answer it, you know, and so be it. That's kind of handy, isn't it, to have that back and forth live? It could be fun. In the heart of the Rockies here in Canada, it's still cold and snowy and fresh. Yeah, Canada's I don't think it's a place I'd like to go and visit simply for how far north you are in terms of the climate. I understand your winters are brutal. I'd rather not. I don't like it being too cold either. You know, I don't like being too hot. I don't like being too cold. But I prefer to be cold than hot any day. Let's put it that way. Move to India for a minute and then get one of those sweet H1Bs. But yeah, there's got to be something we can do. Some kind of cheating the system thing. Yeah, you Americans get jabbed for chicken pox, don't you? That's odd. That's not something we do here in the UK. I don't know why you guys do that. Just get chicken pox and deal with it. It's not that bad. Just get past it and then you're immune forever. Unless you get shingles and then things get really bad. Will you have to change your name and everything, though? No, apparently not. Apparently, we looked into it. There's nothing wrong with being a conspiracy theorist. That doesn't allow you into the country. As long as you're not, like, saying anything that could be considered, like, dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you're not, like, personally attacking people or calling for, like, death from above, like, then you're pretty much all right. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna call Paul Goldilocks. It's got to be just right. See, Wendy gets it. My hair is gold. It's not ginger. She gets it. Not for me, my son. For money, for the corpse. I glow in the dark too. Fly to Mexico. Walk across the border. That is always an option, I suppose. West Virginia's calling you, Paul, says Chad. I don't know. It's calling my wife, apparently. He left the Illuminati and wrote a book about it, says Garth. Okay. How about you do a British convention, Paul? Be interesting to see how many in the UK are listening. Not a lot. I can tell you how many of the people in the UK are listening through my book sales and through my analytics on YouTube. About 10% of my audience is the UK. Very small numbers. Very small. It's predominantly US and Canada that listen to me. So it makes sense, you know, business-wise, I suppose, to be close to my subscriber base, because it means I could do more conventions and traveling easier and cheaper, you know, and meet and greets and whatever it is, and that type of stuff quite a lot easier than traveling from the UK. Maybe one day we could get that little season documentary made if I was in America. Maybe it would be easier. But with me being in the UK, it's expensive. It's so expensive to travel back and forth from America from the UK. Thousands of pounds. It's ridiculous. Faye Clegg says, I'm in Liverpool. Well, Faye, you're 1 in 10. I can tell you that right now. The UK doesn't seem fun to travel to, says Humble Human. Most people would say it's not. And I would agree. It has its humble quality if you live here. I get it, you know. It has its own natural beauty in the north, in the lake areas, and in its wildlife areas. It's beautiful, you know. England's green and pleasant land, as it's known. But yes, in terms of policy and everything else, it's no. It's not doing well. I'll tell you that right now. It's not. But it has its moments. It does have its moments. When you're from Britain, you can't help but have that pride of being British. But at the same time, we're also self-aware enough to realize being British really is not all it's cracked up to be anymore. Like, things are really bad. And that's all I'll say. Scouse and proud. Faye. Scouse accent. What even is that? You guys are a joke. No offense. But yeah, you've just got to be different from everybody else in the UK, haven't you, with that accent? You've got to be different. You should make some stickers and stick them everywhere so that people research your website. It's funny you say that, actually, because the other day I was thinking, I was driving and someone had a bumper sticker on their car in the UK. And you don't really get that in the UK. It's rare. It does happen, but not a lot. And I was thinking, like, should I make some bumper stickers? It's just my logo with Understanding Conspiracy or something. Should I just make some bumper stickers? What do you think that would sell? And she was like looking at me like, what are you talking about? But I think maybe it might be quite fun just to see, like, people driving around with my channel logo on the car. That could be quite fun. Maybe I'll make one and I'll sell it somewhere. I don't know. I'll find someone to print it for me and I'll sell them. That could be fun, right? Bumper stickers. None of my grandchildren had the VACs, signed waivers and everything. Yeah. Williamsburg is where my wife wants to move back to. I'm a filmmaker. I'd love to film it, says Matthew. Yeah, look, just because I'm talking about making a little season documentary, that isn't a call for everybody who's a documentary creator to get involved, okay? It's just an idea. We don't know, okay? And trust me, we got thousands of emails when I first brought it up from people who all want to make the damn thing. And it's again, logistics are the problem, okay? It's not the technicalities behind what it takes to make a documentary. It's more the logistics of meeting people and traveling and all that type of stuff that get in the way more than anything right now. JT says, I'd love to visit the UK. Yeah, if you ever do, get in touch and I'll show you what I can in my area, but most people want to go to London when they go to UK, don't they? And I'll tell you right now, I hate that place. I avoid London like the plague these days. I've been there a few times and I've hated every single time I've been there. You leave and your nostrils are full of black grime from the underground. The air is poison. It's quite literally polluted, toxic poison. And you'll be picking black out of your nostrils for like 2 days afterwards. I hate that place. It's not all it's cracked up to be, trust me. It's not. It's been romanticised. If you want to see real England, go to the countrysides, go to anywhere else but London. Anywhere but London. That's my advice right now, okay? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The people of London are not British. They don't behave like anyone else in Britain. They're like mindless drones all packed together in this like sardine cans, and they're all they're just terrible people. No offense to my Londoners listening, but most people in like the central London are just terrible. They have no patience for anybody but themselves. They are rude. They're not like us Northerners. Us Northerners are polite and loving and caring and talk to anybody, and we'll help anybody we can. In London, they're just not like that. They do not care about you. They're out for themselves. Don't bother. It's not a good atmosphere. It's not a vibe, as they would say today, as the kids would say. It ain't a vibe. Right. It sounds like Mordor. Our roads are congested. The people are hateful and don't even speak English. Everybody's trapped in their phone, says Val. Yeah, she gets it. London smells, no offense. It does, yeah. London is a mess. Yeah, please stay away from it. It's not worth it. Sounds like Chrysler Foundry. And Wendy's talking about people showing their butt. I have no idea what just happened. Wendy, did I miss something? Oh, I see. I've been accused of the classic. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that happens. I don't break for clowns. Should be the bumper sticker. That's right, JT. You're right. That should be it, shouldn't it? I don't break for clowns. That's right. People, it's funny. Have you? This is not conspiracy related. Just on a side note, having some fun now. After I just have a drink quickly. But there's this thing called I call it like big car syndrome. It's a real thing where people who drive bigger cars tend to treat people who have smaller cars like absolute, the worst of the worst. They just treat them terribly. Okay, they just, something about it. Like when they see somebody driving a little car, they just have to like tailgate them, get really close, or overtake them or something, or like cut them up, or they just have to do it. It's like, I'm driving, my car's bigger than yours, therefore I have priority, you get out of my way type of attitude. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm more important because my car's bigger, like mine's bigger, move. And it's like, that's how they actually act. And I have like a mid-sized car myself, decent sized engine, it's a 1.7, it's a diesel, it can move, it takes up some space, it's not anything, it's not like a SUV or anything, but it's a decent sized hatchback. And I drive this thing, and I get no issues from people, like, and it goes smooth. But as soon as I drive my wife's car, which is a Corsa, a red Corsa, which is a small engine, 1.2 petrol, it's death. The road is death. Everyone's trying to kill me. Everybody is trying to kill me. And it's not because of my driving, because I get no problems when I'm driving my car, no one's angry or anything to what I'm doing. But when I'm driving that little red car, everyone wants to like pull up in front of me, cut me up, get really close to me, almost smash into me, beep the horn at me, overtake me, wherever and it's like I'm not even going slow. Like, what is it? It's just because, and it's simply because I'm just in a smaller car, and a bumper sticker might do the trick. Like I don't slow down for clowns, I don't brake for clowns. That could work, but yeah, it's a serious problem I've noticed. Like, and it's an interesting like case study into human psychology that I've tested myself, and test it for yourself if you haven't already. It's crazy. My wife can attest to this. She gets the same problem. It's ridiculous. Clown cars. Yeah, my wife isn't driving a clown car. I'm not driving a clown car. It's okay. It's just a bit smaller than mine, but it's ridiculous. Art says there's a heavy spirit in London. Yes. 3 people died in the same day where he lives. Killed by 3 teenage girls for no reason. That's rough. That's really rough. Paul, what's your favourite part of Britain? Well, so far, from what I've explored, the Lake District is still number 1 for me. Incredible. All of it. Every bit of it. I've climbed many of the pikes there, and it's beautiful. It's an awe-inspiring. It's definitely, you look out and you definitely think God is real. When you see some of those views, honestly, it's beautiful. My wife is attesting, everyone bullies her on the road. That's right. She's backing up. Big car theory. It's ridiculous, right? It's real. It's real. Honestly, it's a real thing. A 1.7 Golf TDI. I drive a 1.7 Astra J. Yeah, it's a diesel. Even worse when it's a ding dong with a big truck and Napoleon syndrome. So that's true. That's true. We do get that issue as well. I drive an SUV. Lol, I'm nice to other drivers, says Wendy. Yeah, that's what they all say. I bet you're one of them, aren't you? You got big car syndrome, Wendy. I can tell. Hi, Paul. I'm the 10% English, though not British. Okay, whatever you want to say. Yeah, sure, you're English. I get it. Okay. I almost die every time I drive, says Keely. That's true. That's true. So someone's always trying to kill her every time she's on the road. Big party bus theory. It could be. We could call it that instead. Them little cars think they own the road, says Tracy Father. See, you're one of them. You're absolutely one of them. They treat us like we're cyclists. And can we all just come together as drivers of cars and all agree that the cyclists are the problem? Brothers, sisters, why are we fighting each other when we should all be turning our attention towards the cyclists? That's what it feels like. We all can all agree they're the real problem. But still, yeah, big car syndrome's a real problem. No one can wait 5 seconds and not pull in front of me, says Upset Truther. I blame TikTok. Maybe they're all just trying to get dash cam footage for clicks. Maybe that's what it's all about. Everyone has a monster truck in Texas, and I have a small car. It's rough. There once was a ship that put to sea. Why someone randomly just thrown that in there? Was it there once was a ship that put to sea? The name of the ship was a belly of tea. The wind flew up and oh, dip down. Blow my belly boy, blow. Is that the one? Soon will the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. That's a catchy tune. I don't know what it has to do with this. I have no idea. My personality expands beyond my SUV, Paul. People move out the way. I bet, Wendy, yeah, when you have a presence, when you come into the room, people sense it. It's like the air just got colder. It's like they turn around and like, Wendy's here. I imagine. Hi, Paul. Love your channel, says Blossom. Thanks, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. We're just having a bit of fun today, guys. This is just a therapy session before I go on in an hour and a half time with David Rodriguez for Nino's Corner podcast. Big podcast, friends with Eddie Bravo. We're going to talk about the little season. It's going to be good fun. I'm going to do what I did with Eddie to David and just lay out the facts as they are. I need to find my... I need to find my book, actually. Where is it? You know, the one that I've been reading to you guys, Jesus Kept His Word. I need that book for all the quotes before I start. I'm underprepared. Luckily, I have my own document with some quotes on it that I can pull the biblical evidences, so I'll just default to that if I need to. That's fine. Paul, do you consider the possibility that the little season already happened? Shelley from No Place Like Home has good points on this. You two should have a discussion on this, says Tony from Yonkers. You know, I consider it as a possibility that, yes, maybe we're past all of Revelation, because he does say all these things must shortly come to pass, and that must include all Revelation 21 as well. But at the same time, I'm not seeing any evidence right now myself that we are on the new heavens and earth as described. I'm not. I don't see it. And what would that make us? The sorcerers and the dogs outside the gates? And I understand the arguments that human beings have the capacity for evil. You don't need a Satan and all this type of thing. But I'm just not seeing enough evidence yet to say this is post-judgment, new heaven and earth. I don't see it. I really don't see it. And I'm not looking to allegorize the millennial kingdom, which is usually what tends to happen when you go full preterist, right? And a lot of stuff gets to... I'm not buying it personally, but I have been contemplating getting Shelley on for her to try and explain it to me. Because I haven't had a chance to listen to much of her videos recently. I'm a content creator, not much of a content consumer these days. So maybe I was considering just getting her on the channel to share her case and let me know what's going on here, because we were on the same page and now I hear you going this way. So what's going on? What have you learnt? What are you into? What have you been reading? But she's still a sister in Christ as far as I'm concerned. I've no problem with Shelley believing that, if that's what she wants to believe. Again, I'm sure she's got her reasonings that are valid for believing that, absolutely. But I personally have not seen enough evidence yet. No. Irish sing-along, yes. Go Paul, yes. Sea shanty. It's a tune, isn't it? It's a tune. We just found out that Paul is a good singer. You've just found out, virtual reality? No, I can sing. I used to be in a band. This guitar isn't just for show, you know. Like this thing isn't just here for fun. Well, it is these days, but you know, I used to actually. I can do some. I can music, guys. If you didn't know already, that's the thing in the members only stuff. I tend to share a lot of my old music with people and things I was working on. So there are people who do know. Sea shanty. I think just looking at the Gleason map, and if all the continents were pushed back together, like before 76 AD, then Israel would be closer to Rome and the north. Yeah, I do think things were very different in the past before Tribulation and Armageddon. I think things were a lot closer to each other. I do think that's the case. I like to hear my truck. I don't do music anymore. Fair enough, Val. Is his show live, says Miles? No, it's pre-recorded, so I don't know when it's going to be released, this David Rodriguez podcast, but I will record my own and I'll upload that for my patrons. $5 patron. That's the minimum threshold. And it'll be there for you guys to watch and listen to on there. And then when he finally makes it public on his channel, I'll release mine the next day, probably. So because it's his podcast at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm just a guest. But once he's released it, got his views, I'll release it on mine, and I'll just share it with you guys. I did this recently, you know. That's basically it. But yeah, I'll definitely have it there for patrons to go and listen to. That's for sure. As soon as I can, really, I'll do it immediately if possible. It's just depends how long it takes to render the video and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, but I'll get it up for you guys on Patreon, early access either way. I don't see how it's possible that the little season happened already, says SP. Yeah, personally, I've not found enough evidence for full preterism in what I can actually see in the world yet. No. And the fact that there are still demons present as well tells me that the heavens and the earth have not been cleansed yet through the fire, and a new heaven and earth has been created from the old, where the parasitical infection's been dealt with, you know. So the presence of demons tells me I think we're still in the little season just before everything's about to get dealt with. So Many Fire says, well, fam, I sadly must leave y'all because it's dinner time for my fur beings. Much love and respect to all of you little season realists. This is the best family ever. Thank you for being such great siblings. Well, thanks for being here, sister. I appreciate it. He's trying to teach our son to beatbox, says my wife. I am trying to teach my son to beatbox, okay? And he's actually really good. He can do the boots and cats and dogs and cats and throws dogs in there every now and then. And I'm like, come on, you can do it, son. Just go. Boots and cats and 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 and he's getting there. So he'll be beatboxing in no time. Absolutely. And he's only 3. So we'll get there, okay? Beatbox for us. There you go. There's some beatboxing for you guys. I don't know how the microphone deals with it because it's got limiters on it and stuff like that. It might not be able to handle the plosives very well. It might be cutting me in and out quite a lot when I beatbox. But yeah, there you go. I started reading music lyrics. I no longer listen to any kind of music. I can hear the propaganda and Satanism. I can no longer listen to it. I'm going to have to reopen the whole Is Lucifer Singing to You TV. It's a series I created. Because music is a powerful tool. And yeah, a lot of it's satanically driven these days. A lot of it. Not all of it. You can't say all of it is. But a lot of it certainly is. I'll say that. And the lyrics give it away. They tend to give it away quite well. Most toxic Telegram group I've been in. Videos are great though, says Isaiah Love. I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about my Telegram group? Because my Telegram group is not toxic. Not in the slightest. Like we have it cool over there and we keep it easy. My son does decent on drum and he's only 4, says Marcus. Wonderful. Good to hear. Yeah, you've got to teach your kids music early to get them in the rhythm, I think. Definitely. Thoughts on why demons get so incensed when someone calls them parasite? Would you like to be called a parasite? You know? But yeah, they practically are. They are parasites. I don't care. David has a massive YouTube account, says JT. Yeah, like I say, he's friends with Eddie Bravo, and Eddie Bravo had him on recently and must have mentioned me. Apparently it did, but I didn't listen to it. And then I only found out like a week after David got in touch with me that he was on with Eddie. So they all make sense now. But he reached out to me randomly on Instagram, was like, yo, bro, do you want to come on and talk about the little season? I was like, yeah, well, sure, okay. Like just went, yeah, why not? Let's get it on the books. I was supposed to talk with him last Sunday, but he had to cancel because he got food poisoning. So we rearranged for this Sunday. Yeah. We have a teddy called Boots and Cats. It's no limits. A classic, Boots and Cats. You can't go wrong with it. I like the phrase little season ambassadors. Yeah, that's a good one. You've got to be an ambassador for the truth. It is not toxic, lol, says Keely. No. Yeah, the Telegram's good. boots and cats and dogs and boots. Yeah, he throws a dog in there every now and then. It just makes me laugh. Hold on to your seeds and pearls. Don't join the Telegram group. Is Isaiah Love throwing shade at my Telegram group? I mean, come on, man. Why would you be saying something like that? What's your problem? Did you get banned? Did you say something? I mean, I tend to ban people when they say something that is really annoying or horrible or offensive or just generally not cohesive to a good time. If you got banned, there's usually a reason for it. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of like you can't get banned and go, no, they're all toxic. It's kind of like sometimes you have to take a step back and think, did I do something? It's called introspection. Give it a go. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Happens a lot. You can't have anything good without some people out there wanting to just, crap all over it. That's all I'll say. Hopefully the trolls aren't going to come into the chat. I don't know. I'm not going to look at the chat while I'm doing it, to be honest. Eddie Bravo has been telling everyone he's in a podcast with lately. He can't stop talking about the little season. He's on fire for Christ. Yeah, he's really... It's exciting when you first hear it, though, isn't it? So I'm not surprised. Telegram is lit. Yeah. The only toxic part of the Telegram is I can't keep up with it. That's true. It is rough. Isaiah Love, it is what it is, or whatever. It's crazy how so many people are so against it. That's how you know it's true. The little season stuff. Yeah, I guess so. Yes and no. I mean, that's not evidence that it's true. It's certainly evidence that it gets under people's skin. And it challenges preconceived notions about reality. That's true. The evidence that that's the case. We can't use it as like, well, it must be true because nobody agrees with us. It's kind of people do agree with us though. Let me just quickly check something here. Right. It's got to respond to a message there. Just let me know when I'm there. Right. So David's messaged me saying, dude, you're going to hate me, but can we do another day, please? I'm having a family situation. And he's explained the situation. And it says, can we please do a different day? So I said, of course, brother, just let me know when, and I'm there. So we're pushing it back again. Let's see if it will happen, guys. I promise. I'll make it happen. I always follow these things up. But yeah, looks like I'm not talking to David tonight, which might be good because I've been talking for 2 hours already. my voice is going. And it's not like we need to talk to anyone else anyway. The message is getting out, though. Eddie's doing all the talking for us, it seems. But there we go. That's some update for you guys. But I will be... in 20 minutes, going over to the members only live show anyway, like I always do after the Truth or Therapy sessions. So if you guys want to chuck in any last minute questions now, is there any topics or anything you want me to address or talk about, get them in, guys. Get them in the chat. Let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate for you. I'm just going to take a quick break, get a drink because my voice is going. And while I'm doing that, shall I play some music for you guys that I made? Let's do that. Let's play some music that I made. Give me a second. Let me just... I'll play a piano piece I created called A Walk in the Rain. Pretentious, I know. Okay, I'll play that one for you. I made this as a university background piece for a piece of artwork I had. And there's a bit in the middle that I really like, and I'm going to use it for something. And I'll share it with you now as early access to one of my old songs. Watch while I get a quick break. And in the future, you'll hear it appear again. I guarantee you'll hear it appear again. So let me just quickly go to my profile. I'll find the song. I'm not sure I want it to be that one. Right. Yeah, you guys can't hear it. I'm going to sort this out first. It turns out I've messed up OBS. OBS is always changing on me. And I think I've got to go to properties, restart capture, desktop audio capture. Okay. And I think that came through hot and heavy for you guys when I clicked it. So I'm sorry about that. If you're doing audio only, it doesn't matter. You won't even hear any of this. So yeah, here it is, guys. I'm going to play the song. I'm going to pull it back for you. This is A Walk in the Rain by yours truly while I take a quick break. I'm going to turn it down so it's not too heavy in the ear. And I'll be back in about 5 minutes. And I am back. Did you enjoy that random little piece from like 10 years ago I made? A bit heavy on the rain, right? A bit too heavy on the rain, I'll admit. There's a little bit in the middle though where it's like do 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 do. I don't know. I'm really happy with that moment. Like it really stuck with me. I was like, I like that sound. I'm either going to recreate it on this keyboard or I'm going to just maybe trim it, edit out, make the background rain disappear a bit more, and use it for something on the show. I don't know what, maybe a little interim sound or a closing out sound or something for a bit of fun. But yeah, guys, like I said, you've got me for about 15 more minutes here, and then I'm going to head on over, and it's going to be the members only stream for an hour, and we can get close and personal there. If, I don't know, Connor, do you want to be a guest? Do you want to come and join me on and let me know how you've been doing on your little your missions on these other channels? If you're in the chat at all, if you're listening, let me know. Come on and catch me up with how you've been doing. Because like I said, you've been very busy recently, all over the place, talking to many people in our little community, which is great. I'd like to catch up with you. The link for the Joe Rogan clip doesn't work. Is that right? Let me just check that myself. Let me just fact check those claims. Apparently, we've had 27 responses. First of all, there's an update here to the Little Season Conference questionnaire link in the description, in the chat. Click the link, go do the questionnaire. Let us know what you think, if you're interested, if you're going to arrive, or how many people are going to get there. Someone else wants to meet the promoter. 32 responses. That's good. Looks like a lot of people are interested. Yeah, most people are interested. And then 9% people are like somewhat interested. Some people want to camp, apparently, rather than stay in a hotel. That's interesting. And apparently there is a marvellous campground right nearby the hotel that she's got this all arranged at in the conference hall. So camping is an option. There we go, guys. If we do a conference through this person, there's a camping option. Isn't that wonderful? What else is going on here? All good. Right, back in the chat. I'm here. Here I am. There we go. Yeah, the link, I don't think the link works, apparently. I don't know why. Just go on Joe Rogan's YouTube and it'll be there. But that's all I can say. I just used a link that was shared to me in Telegram and it did work. Let me just do this again. What I'll do is I will copy the link once more. The Joe Rogan. I can't let that play. Let's turn that off. But I'm copying the link one more time. And I'm going to post that link in the chat for you guys here. He says, there we go. So the link's now in the chat. If you want to go see the Joe Rogan clip, now's your chance. It is there. But I'm also going to repost that into the actual thingy itself. Edit description. And let's change that clip to that one. And there you go. I've updated the clip. Hopefully that should take you to it now. I'm sorry if the link wasn't working. It's my bad. I don't know why. But there we go. It should be fine now. It should be absolutely fine. I'm just going to check some things here. The stats are fine. The link I posted works. Funnily enough, Wendy, it was the link you posted I used. But I've now gone into the link straight to YouTube, taken it from the URL from the YouTube search and put that in instead. And let's see what happens now, okay? It should be fine for you guys. You should be able to actually do it all right. I'm not on Telegram. November is busy because of Thanksgiving for traveling. March is great. Okay. Who said John Levi turned against the Little Season? This can't be true. John Levi was never on board with the Little Season. Julie, he's not a Christian, as far as I'm aware. If he is a Christian, I've never heard him make a thing about it, ever. I don't think he's a Little Season believer. He's more of a Tartarian or hidden civilization of advanced people believer. But I've never heard him once refer to it as the Little Season. Never once. And it's odd because he's always been associated with our group, and he always gets lumped in whenever people say, "Oh, my top little season researchers, I love John Levi," and he always gets thrown in the list of names. And I've always been curious about that. And like, the guy's never once said he's a little season believer, ever. Like, he's never brought it up. When he has brought it up, I felt like he was pretty much against the idea without saying he was against the idea. Talking it off as just something stupid, you know. So I don't really think you should be surprised. I'm not surprised in the slightest. Like, I'm surprised people are surprised. Everybody just needs to marvel at what we are potentially uncovering, and I think it's actually the Holy Spirit helping to open our eyes, says Jack Rosenthal. Yes. And I'm with you that I'm not sure we are perhaps the rest of the dead, you know. I saw you arguing with people earlier about it in quite a condescending way. But I will say, you know, fair enough. I don't hinge this entire theory on that concept because we don't know for that to be the case or true. But I don't think it's wholly biblically ungrounded as you were making it out to be. It's the rest of the dead live again eventually at some point, and we're only told it's after the 1,000 years has ended. If the 1,000 years has ended, they could have been resurrected already. They could have been. And I know you've got your arguments against that, but it's not wholly unbiblically grounded. So, you know, watch it, shall I say. Cool the attitude a little bit. I'm personally waiting for Jesus to come with New Jerusalem, says No Limits. That's right. Ideally, it would be before Thanksgiving. It would be before Thanksgiving. It won't be the end of November. I can tell you that right now. It'll be in the middle. And it'll be a weekend, that's for sure. Friday, Saturday. Fill out the survey. Let people know how it works for you and how it doesn't work. That's what it's there for. He called God and John the Revelators bastards. Really? I need to listen to this. I really need to listen to this. And then I won't be doing a rebuttal or anything because I'm not that type of guy, but I'll definitely give it a listen. Again, I don't think I'm going to be surprised by anything I'm about to read or listen to. Not knowing everything is a blessing, not a curse. That's true. Called John a bastard. Why would you do that? And then discredited the book of Revelation. You would think these people who have been researching this Tartary stuff for so long and getting nowhere and not figuring out where it came from would be happy that we have an answer for them, right? And I guess I learned this ages ago. It's kind of like, no, they don't want an answer. The gravy train keeps on trucking and rolling along those tracks as long as there isn't an answer. That's how it works. And when you come along and give a, nope, this is it, it stops the train. And then they'll look at you like, dude, we were enjoying the ride. Why did you stop the train, you know? So that's usually what it goes like. This happens with everything and anything all the time. I noticed it's like podcasters. Like, they were all happy for me when I came on and talked about the Nephilim looking like clowns. But as soon as I started talking about the little season stuff, the podcast visits slowed down rapidly. And it's because it's too definitive. It ends the conversation. Like, and these guys make money off of getting people on, giving their wild theories about tribulation signs and symbols and decodes. And they make the money constantly going on about cryptids and all these sort of things. And it's kind of like, no, we just give a flat up, straight up explanation for why that's the case and the answer, you know, and you don't need to speculate or wonder anymore. And they're like, well, there's no fun anymore. You just ruined it for everybody. So it's kind of, they'd rather not. So they just ignore us. And I don't know. I assume John Levi's in some subconscious way trying to sell his coffee. You know, the coffee sales might dry up if he allows this definitive answer to come rolling in and end the wild, constant speculation, you know. That's just my working theory on the situation. What do I know? I'd live a lonely life if that was the case. I trust one man. One. That's me. You trust me, yeah. You don't have to trust a man to talk to him. What have I missed here? Do you trust Joe, Paul? Eddie is one thing, but Rogan? I mean, I don't know the guy. I've never met him. I mean, I could speculate for hours about whether he's like some evil guy who's a part of the agenda out there to gatekeep and sway us. But from what I see, he just seems to be like some guy who really likes martial arts. You know what I mean? And look, there's another thing I get attacked for a lot, but it's like, I don't want to go out there shill hunting. It's a waste of time. Okay, you don't know anything like that. And just because they're a shill or are sold out in some way or gatekeeping doesn't mean they can't be saved. Okay? And as Joe has told me repeatedly, and I think is a fantastic phraseology for this, it's the sick who need a physician. Okay? It's no good always preaching to the choir. And if Joe Rogan wants me, or Eddie wants me, or anyone wants me to talk to them and explain the little season theory to them, I'm going to talk to them and explain the little season theory to them. Whoever they are, or whatever Fed, if they're a Fed or a CIA operative or whatever, I don't care. I'll give them the gospel. What's wrong with that? I don't have to trust somebody to talk to them. Okay? And what besides, what are they going to do? Okay, yeah, besmirch my name, drag it through the mud. I don't know, accuse me of being... That sounds like a typical day for me as a YouTuber in the conspiracy world. Nothing new. And so what? You know, call me crazy? Well, yeah, I've never been called crazy before. What difference does it make? All I can do is just tell the truth as it is, as I understand it, to show my research and our research and everything we've done in this community as it is, up to date. And they can take it or leave it. And I'll present it to them with that attitude, whoever they are. So no, I don't trust Joe because I don't know Joe. But I'm not going to accuse or cast aspersions immediately either. I don't know. You don't know. Like, you can make assumptions. That's all you've got at the end of the day. Like, we don't know anything. Yeah, and that's it really. I don't think you can get shot when he does if you have a religious exemption, Paul. I've heard that one before. Yeah, I might try and play on that, to be honest. Amen, good point. I think some people who are in it want to get out sometimes too. Good to be on guard, but important to be balanced about it for sure. That's right. My lunch break sells coffee also. They're all selling coffee. That's one of them. I should start selling coffee. You know, I like a good bean, a good coffee bean. I'm not a Robusta fan. It's too sharp. It's too strong. I do like a good Arabica bean. Yeah, that's what it is. I like a blend. I like a medium roast. You know, I'm not too heavy on it. We'll call it Stobbs roast. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? No, nobody wants a Stobbs roast in the cup. What should we call it? Honking coffee. Honking coffee. No, I don't know. We'll come up with something. We'll figure it out, and I'll start selling you guys coffee in no time. I'll the quartering this, and I'll never shut up about it. It doesn't hurt to talk to anyone. Joe Rogan could be compromised or could not be. It doesn't matter either way. All people who would see it on his own show is what counts. Planting seeds. Exactly, Pearl. Pearl gets it. It might not be... See, when you have debates with people as well, it's not about the person you're arguing with. You're not trying to change their mind. It's about everyone who's listening, isn't it? And we have to remember that when we're talking about the little season on big platforms. But I'm also making it about the person I'm talking to, because I'm talking to them. I'm going to treat them like a human being with love and respect, and I'm going to explain to them everything I know respectfully, with no assumptions about who they are or what their agendas are. Anything they do after that is on them, not me. It's simple. Essentially, why you're preventing their potential in coming to God, says Keely. Yeah, that's right, my wife gets it too. When are you doing a video about Martin Luther's preface to Revelation? Seems kind of important, as McRollerson keeps saying over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know. I've not read it, so maybe I need to read that first, eh? Joe is a celebrity, and all celebrities are regular people like you and me. They've just been given otherworldly opportunities that regular people don't get, so we will fantasize about the world. Stops roasting. But maybe that's what I mean. Look, I'm not saying there aren't shills out there, or there aren't paid agents or disinformation agents, or yeah, there's definitely that going on. Absolutely. I mean, yes, I was there. I've been there in conspiracy for years. I've seen it. I've definitely seen a few people throughout my years, and I'm like, yeah, they're dodgy as hell. You know, I've been there. But the problem is we've created such a paranoid culture of shillery now that you get these weird little groups of people appearing who want to call everybody a shill but them. And it gets weird now. And the hyper paranoia is a bad look for the community as a whole. Now, if there are shills out there, let them shill. So what? Wise up and move on, and don't pay attention to them. They only have power if you listen to them, you know? And if somebody does say one thing for years and does a full 180 suddenly and starts going another way, dust your feet off and move on and say, yeah, they were clearly full of it, and move on. So what? You know, what difference does it make? Really? And what use is it going around saying everybody's a shill, that everyone's lying to you, everyone's a secret something or other, you know? And it's kind of, what was that? What? And? Like, and what are you going to do? Like, that's the game, isn't it? Wise up to the tricks and move on. Figure it out and go watch somebody else. Like, so what? Switch it off. And it's kind of, I've learnt people who do that kind of thing, go out and pointing fingers and calling everyone shills, they're the ones causing the division, not the person they're accusing of being a shill usually. They're the ones creating discord and problems. And I'm starting to realise the tactics are different. It's the adversary accusing people. That's how the devil does his thing. He accuses. Maybe we should take that on board a little bit more. That's just my opinion. Whatever, take it or leave it. But yeah, it's getting silly out there sometimes. I've seen it. We've all seen it. My wife in Trump's voice, yeah. It's an inside joke. God used the pagan king Nebuchadnezzar as an instrument of judgment for Israel and for the fulfillment of his purposes. So why not Rogan or Trump even? Sure, but I mean, let's not compare Rogan to a king. King Nebuchadnezzar. He's just a content creator and a sports commentator. Like, come on. John Levi isn't out there as faith-based, just good old-fashioned world education. He just gave his opinion this morning. I do like to hear what others think. And did not find it a reason to unsub because I disagree, says Janine Simmon. I haven't listened to it personally. I don't know what he said. Yeah, truth unfiltered. We're all shills. Yeah. Keely sounds like a shill to me. That's my wife. On board the gospel ship, yeah. So anyway, guys, I've come up to the hour mark on this show now. I know I started a bit late, so I've got a little bit over as well. Sorry if you heard that tap on the microphone there. So I'm going to end this show out now, and I'm going to quickly set up a quick members-only live stream. The number is going to be wrong. I'll update it afterwards because I haven't made a thumbnail for it because it's last minute. So it's going to say the number of last week's show, but it is actually number 10, not 9, that you're listening to. And I will update the thumbnail after the show and I'll get it all sorted. I might even do it during the show while I'm talking to you guys, whatever. But I'm going to start the members only show now. It's a bit of fun. Come on over. Let's have a conversation. Let's keep this going for a little bit longer. Thanks for listening, everybody. And as always, God bless.